Visitors Bureau and the Protect Guam campaign. And in the Zoom room, we have
I think Craig just dropped out.
Oh, who?
Craig Camacho.
Oh, okay.
He's coming back in.
Franceska De Oro is in the Zoom room. Good morning, Franceska.
Buenas, Sabrina. Good morning, Andy.
And we also have Craig Camacho, who is just to reconnect. There he is.
All right. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Can you guys hear me there?
Yeah.
We got you, Craig. Half a day welcome. And talking Protect Guam, the new campaign. We talked about it last week with Josh and a couple of your key opinion leaders. So you're coming in here to talk a little bit more about it. What you got?
Yeah, so, we launched this campaign to kind of help and promote the current safety protocols out there, but also to encourage the local community to do their part against COVID, as we kind of migrate to, getting back to the way things kind of were, right? We kind of still have to evolve and adapt, right, so to speak, but
everybody keeps saying the new normal because, that's what it is. There's going to be things that are just different from here on out. And as much as you may think that you're tired of hearing that term, that's just what we're looking at is the new normal.
Yeah, and so, having the community know what that new normal is going forward as it evolves, and we all try to kind of digest what this is, we all got to remember that we're all doing this together, and so that whole community message needs to be kind of put out there so that we all can make sure that we continue these CAR scores. Look, the numbers are going down. People are kind of getting back to work, and so going forward, we want to sustain that mindset to protect Guam, protect our people, keep our communities thriving, bring back events, and have communal social events for all of us to enjoy like before, But the part of the photo contest really is there are actually 4 parts to this. So the first one was wear your mask. That had already concluded towards the end of December. The other one was your Guam heroes. Who are your Guam heroes out there that kind of have been helping, fight and protect us, for first line people out there in the community that has been essential throughout this whole 8-9 month period. Then the next one that we're currently in right now is how do you stay active? What are you doing to stay active and healthy during COVID, which is extremely important for all of us to continue to do. I think more people are exercising now because of COVID, and I think that's great. We're taking this opportunity to get out there, go to the parks. I know one of my neighbors, she picks up trash while she's walking and stuff, and so we really want to encourage the entire island community to do their part. And these photo contests, we do them even you guys remember the Instagram campaigns that we've had previously, and so we just try to apply this to help the whole COVID awareness thing and getting the message out there that, hey, we need to continue this mindset. We really need to continue it going forward so that we understand how to keep this down. I understand there were SARS, there was this swine flu. This is probably the worst that we've all seen. And so in order to go forward, we got to learn to protect ourselves even further from anything foreign and domestic that could, potentially hurt us like COVID has.
And, one great way to get people to join up, you got to incentivize them by giving out a little bit of money. So there is some cash involved in this. Talk about that.
Yeah. So, for each of the 4 categories, we'll be giving out $100 to 10 winners in each of those 4 photo contents. And so you can actually share your COVID experiences under those 4 categories by posting on Instagram. And again, you have to post them publicly, just FYI. But also you can go on our landing page on visitguam.com where you can see there's a huge Protect Guam site landing page there that you can go ahead and upload all your photos and share your experiences. And you know, I said it during the last show with Victorious, you know, it's extremely important that we share our stories. It's extremely important that we share our experiences. These are the things that are helping us through this, you know. These are the things that help each other kind of get through this, knowing that we've been through, you know, different situations. And, you know, I'm excited because, you know, we brought in these KOLs, key opinion leaders in our community to kind of help, you know, spread that message and kind of gather people in to help, you know, do their part against COVID again.
Yeah, that's a great segue to introduce our key opinion leader joining us here, Franceska De Oro. Good morning.
Happy day, Andy. Happy Craig, everybody.
Hey.
So GVB approached you to be a KOL, a key opinion leader. How did that go about? How was that conversation?
So I don't know about being a key opinion leader, but I'm really flattered always to work with GVB on any of the campaigns. I started working with GVB mostly last year for tourism things, and it's really nice to see how GVB has really pivoted to catering more to the community and catering to this conversation about COVID, especially as we get towards the end of it, or what feels like a long time in this situation. So yeah, I was just reached out. I was reached out to by Robbie from GVB and Talent Basket, along with a whole cohort of other influencers. And I was really interested in the campaign because it really focused on our stories and sharing Guam Heroes, which was the campaign that I was asked to be a part of. And I was really excited to take part in that conversation.
Well, then let's go ahead and talk about your Guam hero. Who is it?
So my posts on social media were about all of us who still take this pandemic seriously, who still follow the protocols, who still wear their masks and move out of consideration and compassion and love for everybody in our community. Because wearing your mask, socially distancing, taking time and space away from your family and your friends is a big sacrifice, especially for our community where we're used to having so much social interaction with one another and time with each other. Like in the beginning of the pandemic, it was really difficult for me to spend time away from like my grandmother. This year was the least amount of time I've spent with her, like in my whole life, aside from when I lived off of the island. So it was a big sacrifice for me to take that much time away from my family. And I just really wanted to send out this message of gratitude to everybody else who took these big sacrifices, who made these changes in their lifestyle, who changed their habits and their behaviors out of consideration and love and an afamalik. So that was my like blanket statement about who my Guam hero is. It's everybody who's still taking all of these actions and doing their part. But we were also asked to do an Instagram live interview with somebody that we consider a Guam hero. And I featured my first cousin, who is a rehab tech at the skilled nursing unit at GMH. And she was really excited to share her story because skilled nursing kind of moved down the priority list for government services. So they had to move locations several times throughout the year, which is really difficult. And then she takes care of a lot of elderly people. And so a lot of her job was geared towards keeping them happy and healthy and engaged in life enriching activities like painting and anything to keep them happy, because they also had to spend a lot more time away from their families. So that was who I featured. Her name is Marlena Connolly. And yeah, I considered her one of my Guam heroes.
That's tough though, picking one Guam hero. Like you had your blanket statement, then you've got to narrow it down. It's like picking your favorite family member. That's just, that's going to cause some problems.
I know. I had to shout out my other family members during the interview because I have several family members who are frontline workers who work in the healthcare industry, who are educators, who had to work throughout this entire pandemic, and it was really, really hard to narrow it down. I just wanted to show
so we all have our Guam heroes, and we want you to post them. Craig, wanted to get back to you and talking about these key opinion leaders, because just seeing some of them, I mean, you've got a pretty diverse group here of people, and how important is it to get those individual stories out there to promote the island and our culture?
Man, like I said, it's so critical that we get a good share of the demographic out there, and these guys, I wish, just looking at Franceska and her energy, I know personally, like her involvement in the cultural community has been great, and especially because of her age demographic. And so those are some of the things that we want to continue hitting going down the line, is making sure that we got everyone covered, right? From our manunku to our younger demographic there, and making sure we get but also, man, these guys have plenty of followers, unlike me. But these guys are and
they're
so
kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and so we greatly appreciate their support in getting the message out. But yeah, no, these guys are out there hitting the pavement running, man. These guys are posting content out there and sharing it, but also encouraging their followers to get active in this all, as well, having them protect themselves, wear their mask, but also showcase what they're doing and their perspectives. Josh and I kind of spoke about this. It's so critical that we all share our perspectives, and that way going forward, we know what each other has dealt with, but we also can help each other along. And I know these key opinion leaders, before COVID, right? You had a job, you had your energy, and you're doing your thing, as what we coined before this, key influencers, right? But imagine where this goes from here now. How they want to be active leaders in their community. So it's a plus, right? When we look at what they're going to be doing for us, even going forward, as we kind of evolve. And so we're hoping that they continue to push these initiatives forward that just help our community.
Yeah, I think everyone benefits in the long run. And Franceska, back to you. Getting to tell your story, I think, is important, and the different perspectives, as Craig said, because Guam, making it a destination for visitors, and I've said it before, there are warm, sandy beaches all around the world. What makes Guam unique is the people, the culture, and you being able to tell your story from your perspective. How important is that?
Oh man, I was just thinking about this morning, about how Chamorro hospitality is really its own set of cultural practices, and learning how to take care of each other is something that we're taught from when we're really, really young. And that's something that can translate very well into how we treat our guests, how we approach hospitality for everybody who comes through our doors. But also, when we teach this hospitality, it comes from this place of respect and reciprocity, which is what our cultural values are founded on. And Nafa Malik is all about doing your part to make good for the community. And if everybody is moving with that consciousness of doing good for each other, then our society, our culture, our island can flourish. So for me, tourism, taking this break this year to kind of see the impact that tourism has had on our environment, how big of a piece of our economy it plays, seeing the value of tourism, but also the impact tourism has at the same time, I think it's given our community some time to really analyze all of these factors and to consider how we can move forward when tourism starts back up again. I know that's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, how we can promote more mindful tourism, because this is something that, like, being mindful of how we affect each other from our health, and COVID has really made us reconsider like our impact on each other. Wearing our mask is to be considerate and be respectful of each other, especially people who are vulnerable. And that's something that we can also translate into how we interact with our environment, to be respectful of our environment because it is vulnerable. And these are conversations that we can help our tourists understand when they come back to Guam. This is something that we continue to teach each other living here on Guam, to move with respect, because our environment is so key to our health, to our personal physical health, mental, emotional health. Is all founded on how healthy our environment is. So I think that tourism and how we move forward with our visitor bureau and how we continue like telling our story should be rooted in those strong values of Nafa Malik, of respect and compassion and love for each other.
Yeah, it really is a symbiotic relationship. What's good for the people of Guam is going to be good for the tourists. which is going to be good. It's just a big circle. So thank you all for bringing your different perspectives, all the different key opinion leaders. Craig, for this campaign, everybody over there at GVB. We all know there's a lot of work to do, but again, before we even think about protecting all of our visitors that come to Guam, we have to protect the people of Guam first. So this campaign, I think, is pretty important. And I want to thank both of you for joining us here on the show.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Andy.
All right, thank you guys. Happy New Year, be safe, and remember, #protect Guam.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, well, we are just about ready to wrap things up here, I believe. Sabrina, did you want to jump in for your final comments?
No, I don't have any final comments. I'll just say that Franceska, she's such a sweetheart. I met her about a year and a half ago. I took one of her, I did a feature on her and her stand-up paddleboard yoga.
Sup yoga.
Sub yoga, yeah.